What is going on, snipers? Naeem Al-Obeidi here. I hope all of you guys are having a wonderful day today. This is our live stream. If you're watching this live stream after it's already published, feel free to use the 1.5x speed in the settings of this video below. It may be a long, maybe 1 hour live stream. However, we are going to be taking user requests today. We're going to be taking a little bit of a more relaxed approach once again. And we're going to be looking at price levels and see if we've finally found a support level here for Bitcoin, which I don't know if we have, but yes, once again, my name is Naeem Al-Obeidi here with SnipersTube, and let's go ahead and start rolling this video. All right, so looking at our current chart here, this is our trading view chart. If you guys are new to SnipersTube, you guys can actually go ahead and utilize this chart for yourself. The link is in the description below. It's a free resource. And if you right click yours, we're going to be utilizing several different indicators today, going one by one, step by step, showing you guys how to utilize these indicators so you guys can start learning, at least to the extent of which you guys can be receptive to that. And we're going to be utilizing the volume, the 3 moving averages, the RSI, alongside with the MACD indicator today. And we're going to be looking at Bitcoin first and foremost, being the fact that we have finally seen some level of support right now during this correction. Hopefully this is not a bull trap in which we're going to start seeing further downside, because if we do, we can start heading down to some lower lows into this bear market trend, which we're currently in. And what I mean by that is a bear market trend is when we're starting to see these prices level out at these bottom levels. And if it starts to go horizontal under this 200-day moving average, could look quite bad here for Bitcoin. Pull up the one-day chart. You can see we are right on that 200-day moving average right now. That moving average actually went ahead and dropped a little bit, which is interesting because that has actually put us right at the zone in which we need to find the support. If we go below this 200-day moving average, things can get a lot worse. If you see it, it's right here in dark blue. It's probably a little bit hard to see. I'll go ahead and bold that here in green for you so you can see exactly where that 200-day moving average. You can see we're right on top right now, where the 200-day currently is around 88.46. We're currently at 89.37. So definitely a positive sign for Bitcoin, in my opinion, being the fact that we're not currently sliding down into that bear market trend just yet. However, this could certainly see a little bit more downside, being the fact that RSI is currently not at these lower lows under that 200-day moving average. So let's go ahead and see who we have online right now in our chat room and see what we've got going on. Streaming on 4 different platforms tonight, including Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Let's see who we got on from which different platforms. Which one is the best platform? Let's see how much noise we can make. If you are on YouTube, let's see if we can get some, let's see if we can hit 100 likes on YouTube. Let's see who we have more engaged tonight. Twitter, let's see how much retweets we can hit on Twitter. How about that? Let's check that out. Let's do a share request and let's see who's online. We got Robert Charles, Dave Mickelwraith, Mahmed Mansouri said, hey. Barsim on Twitch, New York Life 1845 on Twitch, Johnny Monslave in the house, Exile Johnny, that is awesome. Good to have you guys on the stream. YouTube is killing it. YouTube is #1 right now. They're 96-0, looking like Floyd Mayweather's record. That's awesome. Floyd Mayweather's probably like 50-0, but greets from Holland. I like streaming late because we get people from Holland. I think that's awesome. Tahoe Media Group said, yo, yo. George P. YouTube. Joshua said, hey. Danawat Williams. Mike Hefner in the house. Mark Kurz. Wendell Kurz. Let's take some questions, guys. Pick my brain. Why don't you guys pick my brain tonight? I actually have a lot of knowledge. I just got back from a huge night tonight with a now great buddy of mine, Vince. Shout out to Vince if you're watching this, bro. Awesome night, man. You made my day here in California, man. We went and we explored, but we had a great time of just knowledge and wisdom. And I think that's really what friends are for, right? To have knowledge and wisdom poured into each other so that we can all become prosperous together. And I think that's awesome. Sarul said, do you think crypto is a bubble? We are certainly in a bubble, 100%. And that's not a bad thing. And the reason I say that is because any bubble is a speculation value that's actually inflated to a point where it drops down to its intrinsic value. And an intrinsic value, for example, if you guys want to kind of get into like some details here, I'll actually show you exactly what I'm talking about. So intrinsic value is the actual value of a tangible, a tangible product or service, or in this case in Bitcoin, it's what does it physically produce? So like, what is the physical value of this? So intrinsic value is the actual value of a company or an asset based on an underlying perception of its true value, including all aspects of the business in terms of both tangible and intangible factors. This value may or may not be the same as the current market value. And here's the thing. We don't know Bitcoin's intrinsic value right now, the true intrinsic value, because it's such an early type of technology. Just like in the .com era, if you guys type in bubble market, understand it's not a bad thing. A stock market bubble, or you can always read, the crypto bubble, quote unquote, is a type of economic bubble taking place in the stock markets when market participants drive stock prices above their value in relation to some system of stock valuation. Behavioral finance theory attributes stock market bubbles to cognitive biases that lead to groupthink and herd behavior. What is basically saying it's all psychology, right? People are now what I call FOMOing into Bitcoin. They have a fear of missing out. They want to get into Bitcoin because they just know everybody's getting into it. And because of that, it creates a natural bubble. Nothing wrong with that. You can make a ton of money in a bubble. However, let me show you guys the history of the bubbles. If you guys don't know how the internet bubble looked in 2000, you guys will look here, and this will blow your mind actually if you guys haven't seen this. And if you've seen this before, it's always fun to see it again. But here's the NASDAQ here. If we go up to the 1 week chart, you can see if we pull up the NASDAQ here, you guys know I've come from traditional markets. I love these traditional markets, but the NASDAQ here in 2000 had a huge bubble. You can see how we popped. This bubble was created because of a new technology called the internet and the .com era, right? You had all these companies becoming amazing companies just by adding .com to their name. They're like, okay, we're Amazon, we're a book company, but now we're Amazon.com, and everybody's like, oh my gosh, this is a brand new technology. This is a revolutionary company, and that was really the thing at the time. Who here was around during the internet bubble? Let's take a quick vote. Michael Massey said, love you, man. Thank you, Michael. Love you too. Hey, East Coast, 5 a.m. awake for this. Yes, baby. Is it 5 a.m.? That's not good. I'm going to be up at 6 a.m. That's not good. Somebody said, what's up, Naeem? Late night stream. Loving it. Thanks, Steve Chavez. Who here was around in the internet bubble? 2000 and 2000. I was going to say 2000 and 2000. Crypto Prompt was. Waleed. Frank was. Imnek was. Bill just joined this whole chat group, so he's kind of lost. Let's see. Shannon says, is it a coincidence that the stock market is also dropping severely at the same time? I don't know. I don't know if it's a coincidence. Maybe it's all because January is a pretty bad month for a lot of businesses, to be quite frank with you. You know, I just came back from a buddy of mine, runs, multi-million dollar, probably not a multi, probably I'd say a 7-figure business. And January is a slow month for him. Not only that, I used to work hospitality. January is always a slow month. So, January is just a slow month. So you'll see a lot of slippage, in my opinion. But that doesn't mean that this is the end all be all for this great technology. Somebody says, I was there for 2000, Smitha. So in 2000, the .com bubble infiltrated the nation. And what that means is, you can see here, we went on this parabolic run up, starting here right around, I'd say, not 1990. I would probably say, 1990, we had a little bit of a correction. But for the most part, by the way, Ray Dalio says there's always a correction every 7 to 10 years in his book Principles. Runs one of the largest hedge funds in the world, over $175 billion in assets. But when you look here, you can see we had this huge run up. We really saw that parabolic growth right here in 1998. This is when the bubble started. So the bubble started right here in 1998, and this is larger than you guys think. Like if we were to actually pull this up here, like if we were to clear out everything here, you can see this was a big bubble. This was no joke. This was serious stuff here, guys. Pull up the 1 month chart. You'll probably get a crazier view of that. Check this out. So this bubble was a pretty big deal. Look at that. So if you don't think this was a big deal, yes, it was. And when this bubble occurred, there was just all this drama, right? There was just all this hype. There was all this fear of missing out. There was all this, oh my gosh, these .com, companies are going to be the next big thing, And then you see this just flop up, 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 up. And here's where a bubble really occurs. It's when you see these huge parabolic, actually, I would call this these huge depressing drops in price, where we went from 4,782 all the way down to 1,152. Notice this, whenever you drop like this, you can see these run-ups. If we pull up the technicals, let's pull up the technicals of this bubble as if we were actually trading it on the 1 month chart, which you probably don't want to trade on. But if we pull up the RSI, you can see here on the 1 month chart, RSI went above 70. If RSI is above 70, that means you're overbought, and that means prices are most likely going to drop. If we're under 30, it means you're oversold. Prices are most likely going to go up. So you can see how we went all the way from all these higher highs and these RSI levels dropped all the way back down. So anyways, a bubble is not necessarily a bad thing. You can make a lot of money as long as you don't catch this trend here. This was about a $3 trillion bubble, the .com bubble. And that was at the time. So if you were to take the value of that now, that would be around 10 trillion with an inflationary valuation. And if you look at the crypto bubble, quote unquote, the BTC bubble, if you're going to call that a bubble, we are less than 500 billion right now. So we're nowhere near even $1 trillion. Even the 1 month chart, you can see how Bitcoin is still pretty early on compared to something as old as the stock market, right? So not to compare to the stock market, but at the end of the day, I don't believe Bitcoin is going to go much further down, in my opinion, only because of the fact that we're on this 200-day moving average, and that's exactly where we were expecting to find some sort of ground, some sort of support. And like I said, guys, this technical analysis stuff does work. I mean, a lot of people question things like this, but I mean, you can see how we've bounced off the 50-day. Now we've bounced off of this 200-day. This stuff makes sense. Why did we find horizontal support on the 200-day or the 100-day? Because technical analysis works. So hopefully that helps out somebody. Let's take another question. Somebody says, I think it's still a good opportunity to buy fun. And somebody says, Neo. I was actually watching the CEO of Neo speaking the other day. Phenomenal. Neo, in my opinion, has become a platform that I am going to really start doing a little bit more research on, and I'm going to possibly put in a position on that along with Ethereum, because as soon as China allows its ICOs, I think Neo has some huge potential. Somebody says, how do you get onto the Patreon? The Patreon is, so yes, if you guys don't know, I've made a decision that I feel like the market's getting extremely manipulated in a lot of ways, and I want to make it easier for you guys to access information. So I've personally looked at tons of subscriptions for myself to actually give myself more knowledge on the market and get trade alerts for myself. So I just paid, I think it was like $2,000 for a subscription. I'm looking at getting another one for $14,000 a year. And that's literally just to get trade alerts sent to me. And it's by these larger groups that actually have some sort of capital and invest in the market. And and it's not a pump and dump, it's more so this exclusive trade alert type of group that is available, and there's many of them, and there's individuals there that will literally drive, like they will buy, like they will make a trade alert, and because it's individuals that have high net worth, I guess you can say, because it costs so much money to get in these programs, the prices of these coins automatically go up no matter what, and they don't necessarily drop because they don't do any sort of selling. It's not a pump and up, it's just a trade alert. And it's interesting because they are like, there's one that I recently signed up for. I really liked it because they actually do ICO alerts where they're looking at like newer ICOs. They'll send like these huge descriptions of them, why the research was done on them. So I've actually decided to actually take that information, and I'm not really going to advertise this much, you know, being the fact that I don't want to get kicked out of these groups. But I am going to be releasing some of this information out to our Patreons. So if you guys are on our Patreon group, the link is in the description if you guys want, you know, to look at that. But I'm going to be doing this for all of our gold members receiving trade alerts, and I'm going to be implementing those trade alerts into our Patreon group. So instead of just being the only one doing trade alerts, as you guys know, if you're already part of Patreon, you guys know I send out trade alerts on my own, and you can see I'll chart out graphs, I'll look at different things, and I'll send these out to you guys. I'm going to start taking this information. I'm signing up for these large subscriptions worth thousands of dollars that most people won't sign up for. I'm going to get that information. I'm not just going to copy it on there. I'm going to look at what they're posting, and I'm going to get the knowledge being in front of the 8 ball before we're in the back of the 8 ball, because I feel like that's kind of where things are going now with the market, and I want to be able to bring our community some sort of value at a higher tier, at a higher level. So for all of you gold patrons and above, and then Ruby, what we're doing now, so this Sunday, if you're a Ruby patron, we're actually going to be doing an ICO Mastermind. So what that means is we've already got about 15 patrons looking at different ICOs, all over $1 million, being the fact that these ICOs are really where money is really being made right now. ICOs are, you know, I was at a conference recently with the co-founder of Monero, and he talked about how, you know, ICOs right now are really the niche of the market in terms of making these 20x, 40x profits. Because if you get in an ICO at 1 cent, goes to 10 cents, drops down and crashes to 4 cents, you're still at a 4x profit, right? And then let's say it goes to 50 cents, you've just made 50x on your money. So ICOs are really where money is made. And here's the problem. Binance, I watched the CEO, it was an interview the other day, and he literally said that there's 5,000 pending applications of coins to come onto Binance. So with all that information, I'm like, all right, well, why not we start this? You know, we have rubies already. We have dozens of rubies. Why don't we start this collaborative intelligence type of scenario where we're all looking at different ICOs that are over $1 million, so that it's not as susceptible to scams and, you know, some of these bad ICOs. And then we all just kind of reflect and give that knowledge as a group together in a Night Owl, which is a voice chat group that we do on a nightly basis. Typically, it's not always a Ruby and above Night Owl. Like tonight, we're having an open Night Owl for those of you that want to come in and talk to me and the team. We're going to be under Voice 2 tonight. So if you guys come onto our Discord, just go down to Voice 2. You can see we already got over 100 people there. We're going to be under Voice 2 tonight for the Night Owl. You guys know we do that every single night. But for the rubies, so we're going to be doing that this Sunday, and we're going to be talking about which ICOs have the most potential. I'm having each person focus on 3 primary aspects of these ICOs. Number 1, the team, because I think that's important. Number 2, the potential for mass adoption. And then number 3, does this ICO solve a problem, and why? So we're all going to come with that information. And for those of you rubies that aren't there, all of our rubies receive podcasts. So you guys can see it's almost like an iTunes podcast. So for anybody not there, you guys can just listen to this as if it was like an iTunes podcast. So you guys can still keep that information. And for the Sapphires, it's a little bit different. For the Sapphires, you get recordings of all of our live calls. So sometimes we'll have our Night Owls. Like tonight, we're going to have a Night Owl, and we might drop some nuggets in there, and they'll get all of those recordings in podcast version. So they get everything we just talked about and those extras for them to have all the knowledge on the go. And then for Emerald, you guys have access to request any sort of coin. You have a special chat here on the Discord. So what I realized was a lot of people were paying all this money doing super chats on YouTube trying to request coins. I'm like, why not just start one little like group where anybody can just post VIP access? Like right now we just got IOST, so we're going to do IOST. And so this prevents people from having to really use the super chat too much. So, you know, a lot of people are like, why do you have, and then we have the diamond subscription. This is for people that want one-on-one sessions and stuff. This is a little bit of a higher tier. This is more custom coaching and stuff that not many of you will probably need, but some of you do. And a lot of people ask, like, why do you do that? It's because I need to. You know, the community is growing so much. We have over 20,000 members on Discord, and like you have to create some sort of separation, right? Like I can't do the ICO Mastermind with the whole community, like all the golds, right? We have over like 300 golds on our trade alerts. I can't do an ICO like mastermind with all of them. There's just too much, right? And I can't do a one-on-one with everyone, obviously, and I can't do a VIP access chat for everyone because then it becomes open, and then I can't do, so like this is all necessary. But what's cool is as the community grows, you know, I've almost dedicated my life to this. I moved to California, I left my family, I left my friends to really get all this information for you guys, be on the front end, not be on the back end, because let's be honest, Reddit and the news articles out there don't really justify the true news. So anyways, that's kind of just like a little bit of where I'm at in terms of where SniperTube is headed and what I want to bring to the community to add the most value to you guys. And I figured, why not? The best thing, you know, I think the coolest thing about this is the trade alerts, how we're going to be adding literally all of these subscriptions, you know, kind of together and then making it available to all of you guys in the masses. And I think that's really cool. I'm not going to talk too much about that. This is probably the only time I'll talk about it much because I don't want to get it out there and then get kicked out of these groups for, you know, knowing their information and then possibly posting it elsewhere. But I'm not going to just copy or anything. I'm going to, you know, redo their charts. I'm going to look at what they're actually looking to trade. I just look at it as me being more educated, right? If I'm more educated, I can make better calls. And if I can make better calls, then my trade alerts would be a lot better than where they're at now. And that's my goal, especially when there's people with tons of money making these trade alerts. I got a bug here. Sorry. So let's take some questions. Anybody have any questions? Let's take some questions about the market. Somebody says, when is Bitcoin going to reverse? It's probably going to reverse here if it continues to find this horizontal support line. And if it finds stability around this 200-day, I'm completely fine with that. As long as it doesn't break that 200-day. And so far it hasn't, because you can see the wicks has, but the body of the 1-day candle hasn't, which is good. That's a strong sign. That means that, yes, there was some downside. However, it wasn't strong enough to see the full close price hit that lower low on the 1-day chart. Somebody says, if you were holding a ton of altcoins right now, would you be worried? I have alts and I'm like down 60%. Blunt speeds. Good question. I don't typically like to sell when I'm down. I try to sell when I'm up, not down, just because it's just a basic rule in trading: buy in the red, sell in the green. So I try to buy more in the red rather than sell in the red. And then here's my position with alts right now. If you look at most altcoins like ETH right now, you can see we're over the 200-day, we're over the 100-day, and we're over the 50-day. If you pull up Tron right now, you can see we're right on. Well, that's not pulling up. So let's do XVG. That's probably not going to pull up either yet. You can see we're right on the 100 days. It doesn't look too bad. You pull up a coin like LTC BTC though, you can see we're right on that 100-day. And then if you pull up a coin like PivX, right, you can see right on that 100-day. And if you pull up a coin like XLM, you can see we're way above the 50-day. If you pull up a coin like ETH, we already did that actually. Let's do Ethereum Classic, over the 50-day. So we haven't seen one coin like Bitcoin under the, or at least at the 200-day. So I think Bitcoin is probably the most undervalued coin right now. I think it's the coin that's at the lowest prices, and I think it's where you're going to get the most bang for your buck, at least with these price levels. So that's just my opinion. I'm going to be strengthening my Bitcoin position more than anything, rather than just my altcoin positions. So somebody says the rule is sell when you are losing money, buy high so you can lose more money. Cyber prompt. No, don't lose money. My uncle was a very successful real estate agent. I was like, what is one thing that contributed to your success in real estate throughout your 50 years doing real estate? And he says, well, as an investor, what I'll tell you, and I was talking to my friend Vince today, my boy Vince. I'm not gonna say we were friends, but now we're great friends. We spent all day together today, and the whole night, or the whole day and night, we had conversations. It was just an amazing time. We talked about a lot of stuff. We talked about Neo a lot. He talked about Neo. He actually has, I probably shouldn't say this, but I said it already. A buddy of his really heavily invested in Neo. Doesn't feel like it's a coin in the eyes of people right now, and he feels like there's going to be a huge upside potential, especially with China's relief on the ICO ban. People in China are going to go crazy and nuts and utilize Neo. And Neo is very different than Ethereum in many ways. So people call it the Chinese Ethereum. In my opinion, it's a little bit more intricate than just that. But I don't know where that was going. Any coin working independent of total market cap and might be the same in the future as well? Nah, it's sad that most coins follow Bitcoin. Like, you go on coin market cap, most coins follow Bitcoin. Why don't we talk about this real quick? Bitcoin major corrections from September 2010 to January 2018. This is something that I actually posted on my Twitter. I want to address this. So I've been around Bitcoin since around 2010. I bought my first Bitcoin. I can't even tell you when. It was so long ago. I used to be a machinima gaming partner, and I used to accept Bitcoin, and that was how I was become familiar with it. I really started trading. I liquidated all my assets around 2014 to really trade Bitcoin. Got out of traditional markets, got out of the E-Trade, all the basic stuff that was available. Don't use E-Trade, by the way, if you're trading traditional stocks. They have way too many fees. They have good portfolio tracking systems, though. But if you look here, these are Bitcoin's major corrections thus far. You can see from 2010, September 14th to October 8th, 2010, this is a 24-day correction. It went from 17 cents back to 1 cent. That was a 94% decline. You can see from November 6, 2010 to November 10th, 2010, it was a 4-day correction from 50 cents to 14 cents, 72% decline All of that is price manipulation, by the way. You don't see a 4-day correction like that severe for no reason. Which was February 10th, 2011 to April 4th, 2011, we had a 53-day correction from $1.10 to 56 cents, and that was a 49% correction. And then it just goes on and on. So we saw another correction that was 34%, another one that was 94%, which is exactly like this one. We saw another one at 76% in 2013, another one in 2013 at 85%. There was another correction in 2017, 33%, another one in 2017, 39%, another one in 2017, 41%, another one in 2017, 30%. And then this correction so far, based on this graph, which needs to be updated, was at 48%, but now is right around like 50 plus, maybe 60%. And it's prolonged more than 30 days. So this was 30 days on the 16th of January. So this is probably right around 50 plus days now. And we've seen corrections 410 days long. So corrections on Bitcoin are known and have happened in the past. But here's my question to you. Do you guys really think that this check mark here is not going to be filled? Do you think there's never going to be a new high? Do you think that Bitcoin, like my Uber driver that has never bought Bitcoin before, and none of my Uber drivers have ever bought Bitcoin, and the guy that served me today in my sushi restaurant hasn't bought Bitcoin yet, or my friend that just logged into the Cash App the other day and texted me and said, hey Naeem, I just bought my first Bitcoin. You don't think there's more people that haven't bought Bitcoin that are going to buy Bitcoin? I guarantee you there is. So with that being said, in my opinion, you're going to see a lot more people getting into the fundamentals of what we're doing here rather than just the technicals. And what I mean by that is people are going to get into the fact that fundamentally Bitcoin is what it is. It's not going to go anywhere. There's only 21 million that can be created, and there's a certain cap to it. It's a limited asset. There's not much of it in reality compared to what the market will really be like once we see blockchain adopted from the masses. So, you know, this is just another correction. I'm glad we're finding support at the 200-day. If we go below this, once again, it could certainly go into a bear market formula. Somebody says, Morsada, this guy takes advantage of vulnerable people with money. You guys can learn yourself. That is hilarious. So that means, so you're telling me that if I go on my success stories here, if we go to down here to crypto success stories, you're saying this is all fake? So that is funny, right? Look at that. My 30,000 initial investment is now down to 17K. Thanks, January. Glad I bought in right before everything crashed. Number success. Look at this guy. Thank you to this group for helping me fine tune my trading skills. Yeah, so we take advantage of people apparently, right? Why don't you could a mod ban him? Did Sarah ban him already? Sarah, you banned him? Thank you. We don't need you here, brother. Don't waste your time trolling our chat rooms if you're going to spread incorrect information, because you can scroll up the success story area and there's so many people that have succeeded based upon having a community. You know what it is? It's called collaborative intelligence. Read the book Super Intelligence. We'll do a book giveaway soon, by the way. I'm reading Mastering Bitcoin again. This book is phenomenal. If you guys understand the distributed ledger, it will change your life. You understand consensus and the power of consensus in the world and how much problems it can solve. It is unbelievable how many issues that are facing the world today that can be solved through consensus systems. It's awesome. Rick said, "Name, don't listen to people like that. We all love you." Thank you, brother. Somebody said information costs money. You know what's cool? My mentor taught me this. He said, "Name, if you don't pay, you won't pay attention." I was like, oh, that makes sense. At least, you know, you guys don't have to. I paid $2,000 today for like a trade alert, three trade alerts a month, and then I'm about to pay $14,000 for like constant trade alerts. But I'm gonna be giving that all out to you guys. So somebody says, Naeem is a legend and you trolls are 12. Yes. Somebody says, how do I join the Discord? There's a link in the description. You guys can actually pull up the Discord. It's in the description below. Somebody says, what do you think about AirSwap? I think we should make a whole video on AirSwap. I mean, that that could be a huge topic. Maybe we can talk a little about AirSwap tonight in our Discord. So we'll be having a success, not a success. I was going to talk about successor. We're going to be having a night owl tonight under Voice 2. So you can see how we have a ton of people in Voice 1. We're going to be right here under Voice 2. So I'll see some of you guys there. Don't be stubborn and say, I don't want to download Discord. I've never been on this app. I haven't downloaded an app in 10 years. Trust me, guys. You'll get a lot of benefit from Discord. It will truly help you. Somebody said, Naeem's mentor is a guy named Yazan, co-founder of Jibril Network. He's one of my mentors. He's helped me a lot. He actually just had his ICO released on an exchange, which is awesome. Good for him. So somebody says, do you have any courses? No, I don't. Somebody said, that's horse skins. That's funny. Somebody says, what other patrons do you recommend? I don't know much. I just use the platform, to be honest with you. I don't really go on it. Somebody says, if you can add more on this is a good period to buy more when it hits 8,000 area. Yeah, 100%. I would definitely recommend at this point for you guys to get your positions in strong. And that's what I'm doing. You know, I'm not giving financial advice. I don't give financial advice. However, I can give you my perspective, because once again, you guys need perspective. You don't need somebody to tell you what to do. You have to build your own mindset. You have to build a mindset that can really strengthen your trades long term more than anything. And that's really where you're going to find the most success. It's knowing what to do and when to say it, or when to do it. Because you can't just expect everything to be done for you. It's just like anything else. So hopefully that has helped out in some way. Somebody says, number, what is your number? I can't get my number out. I mean, I've done that before. That didn't go too well. Somebody says, I feel like too many are depending on him to make your own trades. Yeah, I mean, trade alerts are just to enhance your trading ability to spot coins faster. That's the best way to utilize that, in my opinion. Other than that, there's not much to it. So somebody says, let's see. Ask Snipers, did you ever use pivot reversal strategy indicator? Not much, Barsim. I use a lot of indicators, and there's not many that I use on the, on the tutorials and my videos and the live streams yet, because I'm slowly adding more. So far, these are the only indicators I'm using in the live stream. And if you guys look here, we've got, actually this is one I found recently, the Kajira Cloud V3. It's a crypto indicator, really cool. I don't want to do a video on this just yet because it's more complex than people probably can handle at this point. But there's certain indicators that I'm utilizing. I'm just kind of starting people off with the fundamentals, and then we'll get into more depth, being the fact that 99% of our viewers are new to trading. So we want to be able to, help them out. You're very welcome, Brett. Thank you, brother. Appreciate that, man. Somebody says, guess who bought on the, who's trading DGD today? I heard tons of people made money tonight on DGD, and that was in our Discord. People are on Voice 1. I was just listening to people on Voice 1. People are like, hey, DGD is a perfect buy. Get on. Simon said, after being on Discord and hearing, I've been learning. Yes. What's the best length for a moving average? Well, if you're talking about the 3 moving averages, I use the 50-day, the 100-day, and the 200-day. That's kind of a standard, so it's almost like a default. You can use whatever you want, though. You guys have any more intricate questions? Let's talk about something fun. Somebody says, did yesterday, was great. We tagged you a bunch of times too. That is awesome, Crow. Somebody says, no risk, no rewards. Do you think it is a good idea to spend big money on GPU mining? So I actually have a couple friends from Venezuela who are big miners. And they use, actually now they're selling ant miners. So they're selling like ant miner V2s or whatever. And they're mining about 2 Litecoin every single month with one of these miners, and then they have like these huge setups where they have tons of them running. And from what they've explained to me, it's quite profitable as long as you can scale it properly. Electricity isn't that much. I think that ant miner, it was like 2 Litecoin every month, and on that 2 Litecoin in the Florida cost of electricity I guess you can call it timetable or whatever, price table. It was like $75 a month of electricity. And then you just have to find a proper area for it. And then you can just kind of prop a ton of them up together. And if you think about it, I mean, profitability, 2 Litecoin right now worth about $200. So it doesn't look like it's that profitable now, but when Litecoin was worth $300, it was quite profitable if you had many of them set up. But the cool thing is if you have it like in certain countries where electricity is a little bit more you know, available and cheaper, it could be quite profitable in some ways. So it depends on how you have it set up. But if you were to just have like 1 or 2 miners, I mean, I know people that do that and they make some money. It's just the ROI, in my opinion, is just not worth the headache of dealing with something that's super loud, super heavy, and energy intensive and such. Somebody says, I saw it on YouTube yesterday, a live feed promoting a countdown, promoting a pump and dump in about 15 hours. Is that something that is possible on a small scale with a few hundred people, a pipe dream or a scam? So with a pump and dump, people will make a lot of money and people will lose a lot of money. The people that typically make a lot of money are the ones who are in it, in the insider area of that pump. Like John McAfee, for example, would do a pump and dump. You know, he was doing pump and dumps every day, and then he's turned it to every week. And what he does is he's actually making people pay to actually get into that information on what's going to be pumped before the information is actually pumped. So in that scenario, you can lose a lot of money because as soon as it pumps, people are selling. I know people that have been burned doing that, so I don't recommend it whatsoever. I try to stay away from it. Matter of fact, if you advertise that stuff on our Discord, you'll automatically get banned forever. So we have a 0 tolerance policy against that. We have to keep things pretty pure. We want to make sure we only have legitimate value on our Discord because we have a big mission here in SnipersTube. You know, we want to help all of you guys really see the success that you should see in this market, and that's all based upon collaboration. You know, I don't think there's any better way to trade other than doing it in a collaborative environment. So when you guys are in our chats, you got people trading here 24/7. I mean, literally 24/7. People are in voice one, calling out trades, doing it together, and you don't even have to talk. You can just listen in and just copy the trades that people are making and make money. You know, because these people are doing this collaboratively. And if you think one mind is better than 5 or 10 or 20, then I don't know where you were mentored. But somebody says, Salam Naeem, how are you? Can I also join Discord and be the part of the community? I'd love to. I am the newbie. Yes, you can, brother. The Discord link is in the description of all of our videos, and I'll post it here for you guys. That's our Discord link. Somebody says, what are you doing for our Patreons? So if some of you guys have heard, I've now added new alerts to our trade alerts for all of our Patreons. So we're doing our trade alerts. For those of you getting my trade alerts, I'm now buying subscriptions that are worth thousands of dollars, you know, like thousands of dollars. There was one that was worth $14,000 a year. And they'll send out trade alerts to me, and I'm going to be taking that information and I'm going to start utilizing that for my trade alerts, you know, knowing that information instead of just going through 100 charts as I normally do and just charting them out, finding good trades. I'm still going to do that, but I'm also going to add that into it. So it's just a new announcement that I've recently made for our patrons receiving trade alerts, because there's too many of these programs coming out, and I'm like, these are way expensive, like way more expensive than what we're offering for the gold. So yeah. Somebody will post all that links up for you. Somebody says cloud mining service CoinMint has won approval to take over an abandoned smelter for Bitcoin mining operations. And that's interesting. Thanks for sharing that. Roger Verse speaks of Bitcoin Cash being more true to Satoshi's vision versus Bitcoin Core. Do you think BCH is going to significantly increase its market dominance after his next keynote? If he's having a keynote, there certainly could be a potential for more price levels being pumped, because typically after keynotes, you guys saw what happened with Neo. After Neo's keynote, prices skyrocketed. So you can expect that. It's just kind of something that's typical when you're at a keynote and you've got these big time investors and you're advertising your coin or you're talking about it. People are going to want to invest in it. So I think there's definitely that possibility for that to happen because of that. Do I think it's going to take over Bitcoin? No. Do I think it fulfills Satoshi Nakamoto's vision in a pure form? Yes. Satoshi Nakamoto's white paper, if you read Bitcoin's 9-page white paper, it talks about a peer-to-peer exchange of value, and you can't really do that right now with Bitcoin. It's not feasible, at least for me, if I'm going to pay Bitcoin, you know, to a restaurant, I'm not going to, you know, I'm going to pay more transaction fees than I would paying any other form of currency. Somebody says there's no way in hell that a trade alert group should be worth $14,000 a year. Yes, there is actually, Lewis. Sorry to break it down to you, man, but here's what happens. When you set up that price level, you only have people getting in those trade alerts that have money. So when trade alerts come out, these people buy, and if you got, I think they have like thousands of subscriptions on that, and I think it was like a couple hundred. I don't think they've had 1,000 yet. But when you've got a couple hundred people investing, like let's say 10,000, right? That's like nothing, right? If you're spending 14,000 on trade alerts, then you can invest 10,000, right? So 10,000 times, let's say only 100 people buy it. I mean, that's, you know, $140,000. You can easily manipulate the market with $140,000. Understand, the market cap doesn't mean this is all the money that's been in the market. The market doesn't have over $400 billion of actual invested money. That's $400 billion of total market cap. I talked about this in the video today. There's a very, it's a way lower how much has actually been put into the market, because as prices increase, the market cap increases, and even people who bought Bitcoin at $10, now that Bitcoin is worth $8,000, but all that really came into the market cap in terms of actual cash, fiat cash, was $10 if that person bought the Bitcoin for 10. So it's good to have that, because let's say you have 100 people buying in at 10, you know, 140,000, then the trade alert almost acts like its own manipulation of its price. And if people are doing that, would you rather be the guy on the front end of that, or on the back end of that? You know, I'm not saying that, you know, I don't endorse anything in terms of anything that's number one, illegal, or number two, deceptive. However, there are people ahead of the 8 ball, and why not get in front of the 8 ball? And the community loves it. I mean, we talked about it in our Discord today, and they said do it. I mean, if it helps you get more information and you can make more accurate calls, then subscribe to these places and get the information. So I'm going to be releasing that to all of our patrons that are on our trade alerts. Somebody says, hey, I've been sharing this stream in as many was as possible via Facebook or even Snapchat. I've learned so much in so little time. You the man. Thank you, that cool kid in it. That's from Twitch too. That's a new platform that we've been streaming on, thanks to some of our patrons. Somebody says, Lewis, I feel like you're describing a pump group of whales only. Well, you gotta kind of ask yourself this, Lewis. If they're already doing this, would you rather have some sort of access to it or not? Like, if let's say this group says, all right, Icon is, you know, they actually use technical analysis, by the way. It's not, see, a pump and dump is when you pump and dump. They are literally doing trade alerts at higher levels so that only high-end clients get the trade alerts. Some of you don't want to do it, so don't do it. Just don't worry about it. Like, turn your blinders off when I talk about it if you don't like that type of stuff, because I'm helping you guys get in ahead of the market. So that's just, you know, it's something that a lot of people want, and that's what I'm going to provide. You know, if 1% of you don't like it, at least 99% of you do. Somebody says, right, exactly. I like that you are a night owl like me. That's awesome, man. I'm not a night owl. I got to wake up in the morning. Somebody says, DGB is going up. If you aren't on the dip, don't buy in. If you guys are on the voice chat, you're probably hearing a lot more of that. Any good questions? Anything interesting? Where do patrons get trade alerts? Joshua Stephen Ward. My best bet for you is download the Patreon app and turn on push notifications so you get it immediately, because you need to get these immediately, especially because we're not the direct source for every trade alert. It's gonna, some of them are gonna be forwarded. So not forwarded, but I'm gonna redo it. So if I get a trading alert from Icon, from this group that costs $14,000, I'm gonna look at Icon and say, okay, does the technicals look right? Is the RSI in the right level? MACD in the right level? Fibonacci in the right level? Is it in low Bollinger Band? Like, I'm going to look at every indicator that I typically look for my normal trades, and if it looks good, I'm going to post that alert, and you want to have that app on so you know. But typically these trade alerts are swing trades, so you know you have at least a couple days or sometimes hours to really make the trade, because it's typically looking at day charts where there's overall trends. So it's not like a day trading. That's more complex. You can't really do day trading trade alerts because you got to be quick on day trades. Day trades are in the moment. You have to do that collaboratively. So what day traders will do, they'll pull up this 1 minute chart and this 5 minute chart, and they literally will be in our voice chat saying, all right, guys, we're hitting lower RSI levels, lower RSI levels. All right, entry point, now, bam. And now it starts dropping. Like, that's day trading. It's like high intensity in the moment. You have to dedicate time to it. And look at that. Okay, guys, we're going up. We're going up. Green. We're seeing some green. We're seeing some green. Put them in. Put them in. Put them trades in, boss. You know, like that's kind of what day trading is. You know, they were talking about Bollinger Bands today. All right, we hit the Bollinger Bands. We're going up. We're going up. Put them trades in, boss. Bitcoin bot says, Marcus Button said you talk too much. You want to watch a silent live stream, dude? Come on, Marcus. Think, brother. It's Think and Grow Rich. If you've read the book, it's not Become Rich. It's Think and Grow Rich. Somebody says go to success stories. Success stories. Let's see. Somebody says on the success story. Let's see. I watched someone get banned live. Look at this guy. We got another ban. Another ban. Let's do the ban. Somebody says, what, dude? I watched someone get banned live. I might have hand in them bullets. Never got banned on this exact channel. I got a message or live. They've gotten blocked me. Asked for TRX. What are people saying? Why are people... I don't like spam. I'm just going to ban. I love banning people. You know why I like banning people? Because when you have 20,000 plus members and you have a ton of success stories and tons of knowledge, you don't give a crap about people that want to be stupid. Because stupid people will stay broke. Don't stay broke. Be part of the inner circle. You guys know there's inner circles and outer circles, and most of these people have some of these people have gray matter missing from their brains. It's called narcissism, and they can't see other people's perspectives, and like they literally are infecting people. Like, you have to get away from narcissists, just saying, or psychopaths or Machiavellians. That's a known principle. There's a Hexaco test you can take. If you send it to your significant others, you can find out what they are. It's actually an interesting test. Look at Bitcoin's 1 minute. This is interesting. I'd be day trading this and making money right now. You can see easy trades here. Bottom of the Bollinger, heading up over the 200. Clear support. These are some great levels here. So he says not going to bed. So he says, hey Naeem, what indicator is that green cloud called? This is the Bollinger Bands, brother. I haven't taught that yet, so I probably shouldn't be showing this. How BOL trading? Somebody says, Naeem going hard. Yes. Somebody says, you have too many mentors. Be your own mentor, my friend. Marcus Button. How do you become your own mentor, Marcus? That doesn't make sense. Marcus, you said some really dumb stuff, I think. Mistake me if I'm wrong, but you also said something dumb earlier, Marcus. We might have to take that out of the group, man. We don't want any bad information here. We only want good information, man. Sarah, watch Marcus. Make sure he's not being stupid. He says be your own mentor. What's one thing you've taught yourself? Let's take a quick vote. I bet you none of you guys can think of something that you've taught yourself. Nothing you learn is on your own. You can't sit in, it's like trying to say, all right, I'm going to be my own karate mentor, or I'm going to teach myself kung fu. Lock yourself in a room and try to teach yourself kung fu without using any videos, without using any computers. Because if you use a YouTube video, you're learning from somebody. So if you want to mentor yourself, lock yourself in a room and try to become better. My mentor used to always tell me, he's like, if you stay around the same people, you only know the same things, and you'll stay within that same reality, and you'll never be able to get anything outside of that reality. So what that means is, long story short, the 5 people you hang around with, you're going to have the average of their income, you're going to have the average of the way they dress, the way they speak, everything. Marcus Button said, that's your opinion. Well, this is my community, brother. Somebody said, you missed my super chat. Sorry, man. Let me check your super chat, brother. My bad. Thank you, brother. Somebody says, do you think Tether will crash? Sarul? I wouldn't have money in Tether right now. It can disappear tomorrow just like Bitconnect did. And I highly recommend getting all money out of Tether right now. The reason I say that is there's just too much controversy around it right now. They just had a subpoena recently. They dissolved relationships with their auditing company. I just don't see a reason to use it. Thankfully, Bittrex is adding USD pairing soon, so you're not going to have to use Tether to necessarily utilize it. Before, people were utilizing it for tax purposes because you didn't have to transfer back to USD, but now with the new 2018 tax laws, there's no point of utilizing something like Tether, in my opinion. What level Patreon gets the advanced trade alerts? Just the gold, Dante, Martin, just the golds. I'm just adding it in. It's just going to be like a new type of trade alert that I'm going to add to the gold's already existing trade alerts, being the fact that all of them right now are kind of like my trades and my analysts. And I want to get that more enhanced, you know. I want to get more information. So all the advanced trade alerts are going to be available to any, you know, pretty much every level other than silver. So, yeah. Where's the chat that you see in the video? That's all the chats combined, brother. We got this awesome system called Restream. Somebody says, any coin under a cent that you'd recommend for long-term hold? Well, you already asked a bad question. You never want to look at a coin's price as a determinant of what you want to invest in, because if the total market or the total max supply is extremely high, it's going to bring down the price of the coin. But that doesn't mean that coin isn't worth in total market cap what other coins are worth, if that makes any sense. So like if you look at Ripple, for example, Ripple has billions of coins, right? I think it's like over 100 billion coins. And Ripple is worth 85 cents because it has over 100 billion coins at its max supply, or right under 100 billion. So because of that, it's worth 85 cents. But look, it's a $33 billion market cap versus a coin like Bitcoin Cash, which is only a $19 billion market cap, but it's worth $1,000 because it has less of a max supply. So it's not about what the price is. I think your question is, which lower cap coins are you looking into? And if you were to ask me that, I would say Electroneum. It's at 7 cents right now. I think this is going to have some huge upside. I'm holding a lot of Electroneum. I actually got in on the ICO. So for those Ruby Patreons, you guys are going to be doing our ICO Mastermind soon, and that's going to be fun. We're going to be talking about more of these ICOs because I've had a lot of success with ICOs, but I want more, and obviously you guys do too. And I think using a collaborative approach is going to be helpful. Somebody said, what is Discord link? I just posted it. The only question worth asking is when Lambo, because nobody really cares about the tech or future. Check yourself. I don't get that question. Will investor who lost money join back again? The market? I mean, you shouldn't be investing money that you're not willing to lose, number one. And number two, if investors lose money and they leave the market, they're not even meant to be in this market, because this market's extremely volatile. You have to be okay with losing money. How Bollinger is helping day trading? It's very useful, Barsim. Bollinger Bands are extremely useful in day trading. There's a lot of indicators you can use in day trading. Somebody says, Master Benny, good to have you on the live stream, brother. Why does he read my comments? Cyber prompt. Law of supply and demand just as applicable to digitally scarce items. Terry. You're welcome, Yakub. What do you think about Cash with a Q? Is Cosmos a competitor to Liquid? I haven't looked much into that. I don't like talking about stuff I don't know much about. Hey, are you talking about Neo, Fahim? I like Neo. I was having a conversation today. I was with one of my friends, Vince, awesome friend of mine. Does over 7 figures on his own. Very good guy. You know, we're building a great friendship, man. I mean, I haven't met a guy like him in a while. Somebody that's, fun to talk to, and that just is humble and has humility. It's hard to find friends that have humility nowadays. And he loves Neo. A good buddy of his, I think, is over a 6-figure or 7-figure portfolio. It was a 7-figure portfolio. He has a huge percentage in Neo. I think over 60%. And I asked him why, and he got into depth on that. Maybe we'll talk about that tonight in our Night Owl. We're gonna have a Night Owl tonight under our Discord. So I'll post the link right here. It's a free resource. Anybody can get in here. There's no ads on this. It's a community that we have available for you guys. If you guys really want to start making money in this market, you just have to get on our Discord. Most of you guys download Discord for the first time when you're on this, so most people are not on this beforehand. So I would highly recommend that. So he says, I got banned. Could you unban me? Send me a message if you ever get banned on Discord, because that shows me that you at least took the time to send me a message about it, and then we'll let you back in, but we'll put you on a watch list. Somebody said, what are you doing? That's interesting. Let's go ahead and put this right here. All right. New gold patron. Shout out to Dante. Good to have you, brother. Somebody said, what do you think about going all in on Nano? I don't think you should ever go all in. Allocate your assets properly. Risk management is probably one of the most under-taught aspects of trading. One of the most important aspects, in my opinion. If I signed up to Ruby Patreon but wanted Sapphire, am I SOL 10x amounts? I made a mistake. Blunt speeds. No, I'm sure you can always upgrade unless we ran out of spots. Because I think Sapphire has limited amounts, so you can always upgrade that. Somebody says diversify people. Yes, always diversify. Don't go all in on things. Because when you go all in on stuff, you lower your chances of having a more balanced portfolio. It's all about balancing, right? So highly recommend that. Somebody said Ripple is great to invest in. Yes, for sure. I think Ripple, I would go over Stellar more than Ripple, just for my personal preference. Is the Chinese New Year affecting the market? Possibly. We got another question on, hey, do you know about the Ian Belina? He has a free Excel sheet up on ICOs. He reminds you of you a ton. Very giving to the community. Thank you, man. I've never heard of that. Interesting. Maybe send me that on Discord, the cool kid Nate. I'd love to look into that. Hey Naeem, let's do LTC. Christian M. Let's do LTC real quick. Let's look at LTC's chart here. See what's going on here. Interesting chart. Very interesting chart. I have something to say about this. Let's look at this right now. Somebody said, what personal system do you use for taking profits, Naeem? Good question, Michael Hart Drink. I would say taking profits, you got to have your own strategy, number one. Don't be caught up by most beginners' biggest mistake, which is not taking profits. One profit strategy I like to take is called, I was explaining it today, I call it the fruit tree. So the fruit tree to me is, let's say you plant a tree. You put the seed in the ground, you plant a tree, the tree grows and it starts to produce fruit. Every time it produces fruit, what do you want to do? You want to take the fruit and collect it. So same thing in the market. This is how I look at the market. If I'm doing like a swing trade or a long-term trade or a hold, typically for my swing trades, what I'll do is I will put in a position. Obviously, I'll calculate that position. When I'm putting in a trade, my graphs are insane. I've got support levels being drawn out. I've got resistance levels being drawn out. I've got ascending support levels being drawn out. I've got Bollinger Bands showing. I've got everything going on here. I mean, when I'm putting in positions, I've got all this stuff open. I'm looking at a lot of different support levels. I'm looking at a lot of different channels forming. I've got every channel forming pretty much. I've got my Fibonacci line drawn out. I'm looking like this when I'm making my swing trades, any trade typically. Day trades less because it's a lot faster. But I'm doing this before making the day trade, making sure that I'm on an upward trend. So that's why I teach little by little, because this will confuse a lot of people. I'm sure you guys have seen charts like this before where it's just super confusing. I don't want to confuse people, but when I'm really trading, I'm trading hard, right? So I'm drawing all of these channels out, all of these support and resistance lines. I'm just drawing out stuff right now that I'm seeing right here. Look, this is a channel here, top resistance, lower low, higher low, higher highs, highs, low highs, mid highs. So all this stuff matters. I'll have my Fibonacci on sometimes. I'll turn off certain indicators and then turn back on other indicators just so I can have better viewpoints. So there's stuff called viewpoints where you want to look at different areas of the chart. So viewpoints are open. So I'm looking, all right, is this a trade? Bam, look, found another trend line here, finding support along this top Fibonacci line. So all these things matter. Once I've determined my trend, I'm setting up profit targets. So I'll typically get a different indicator with a different color, and I'll literally start setting up targets. So maybe my buy points, and then my sell points, and and then maybe I'm doing like a layered strategy. I typically never buy in all in. I do it. I dollar cost average myself into a position if I'm swing trading, but I'm setting up these profit targets. So what ends up happening is, let's say my profit target is 10%. So I'm looking at a chart and I'm up 10%, right? So if I'm up 10%, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to either take my initial investment out or I'm going to take my profits out. So for example, I have some strategies where I'll take my profit. So if I'm up 10%, I take my profits. Let's say I invested $100 in Litecoin and then it goes up 10%. That means it's at $110. I take my $10 and I keep that, put that in my pocket. Guess what? My tree just created some fruit. And I look at it as a fruit tree. It's a fruit tree profit strategy for me. So it's a 10% fruit tree for me. So people say money doesn't grow on trees. Well, in my opinion, yes, they do. In the investor market, money makes more money. Typically, that means money is just kind of theoretically coming out of nowhere. It's growing on trees, right? So the 10% fruit tree strategy, it's, you know, it's something I just like to call it, but it's a profit strategy. It's a profit taking strategy. You have to be able to set profit targets. So always have your entry and your exit points set up. It's very, very, very important, especially in swing trades, because most people, like in Tron, when that Tron run up happened, most people weren't able to take profits. So hopefully this helps Michel or Michael. The 10% fruit tea, brother. And then every time you keep that initial investment in it, every time it hits 10%, you take your profits, take your profits, take your profits. It's just it just keeps producing, right? Keeps producing. It's like collecting rent. Does that help out a little bit? Somebody said the spreadsheet is in the description. Somebody says money grows on trees. I only smoke trees, Jack. I wasn't trying to read that one. Somebody says, what do you will happen if Tether crashes? There'll be a drop in the market, sir. A huge drop in the market. Tether accounts for a lot of volume. Somebody says, could you share your portfolio? Yakub, yeah, I do. My Patreons, I send my portfolio out. I think that's part of being a gold. It's one of the things that golds get. So my portfolio right now is strength. Its strength is really in Bitcoin, so I haven't posted anything recently. I'm going to really get a strong position in Bitcoin and hold. And the reason I want to hold is because of the new capital gains tax laws here in the United States. It's really favoring more of the investors that are holding rather than selling and trading. So unless you're trading large amounts, sometimes you got to switch your strategy based on the tax laws. It might not be as worth it. The cool kidnit. Could you send me that on Discord, brother? Because I'm not going to be able to save that right now, man. So he says, please address Ice Age for Ethereum important. I was going to possibly talk about that in one of my videos soon. Lead Boy, you have to go on the Patreon website. I think somebody posted it already. Somebody says, how many percent are you down currently? I'm 40% down. I'm down not much. I took my profits on a lot of things. And then I bought more Bitcoin around 11.3, and then I bought a little bit more Bitcoin on the way down. So I'm only down on what I've bought in low, but I'm actually up on a lot of things because I got Bitcoin as soon as I saw it hit that 200-day, and now it's a little bit above that. So kind of like Jack said, love your channel. Thank you, brother. How long have you been doing this for, Nicholas? Very long time, man. I've been trading traditional markets for, I couldn't even tell you, man. 2014, I started crypto trading heavily. I've traded crypto around 2010. Even though I was accepting transactions, I noticed prices were volatile, not as volatile as they are now, and I was trading them. And it was weird because at the time you don't trade Bitcoin. Like it was more of a coin that you used back when I was around. You know, because in 2010 I was banned from PayPal, or I was limited or something. It just, my PayPal wasn't working properly, and I had to use some sort of payment method, and Bitcoin was all I could find. It was such a hassle at the time. Do you own a Lambo? I don't know, but my boy today, we were driving around in his supercar, so it was kind of fun. But I got a lot of information, you know. I'm really going to start looking into Neo. That's really what he talked most about from one of his friends. Probably Tron is you biggest of Naeem. This is just my guess following what you say. Please tell video title, when will Bitcoin break out? I joined a few minutes before, so tell. Gotham. Thanks for responding. Now, you're very welcome. Love your videos. Can you comment on SEC Bitcoin meeting? Tons of questions. In terms of the video title, when will Bitcoin break out? So we're going to look at Litecoin's chart here first. But what's interesting about Litecoin is you could have predicted this, guys. So many opportunities here to make money, more than I can imagine. You can see we bounced right off of this support line that was formed right around, looks to be 1.4 million Satoshis. And what's interesting about this trend line is we also bounced, if we actually remove this, we actually bounced right off of that 200-day. You can see that literally bounced boop right on that 200-day. Great. I'm sorry, this is the 100-day. Sorry, this is confusing. So that bounced right off that 100-day, went back up. We're probably going to see a little bit more upside, potentially go back on top of this 50-day. I don't know if it's going to continue to cross down because Litecoin is hitting the 100-day while Bitcoin is hitting the 200-day. That's kind of where they're equally proportional in conversion. So in terms of when is this going to break out, I think that we're probably going to see a little bit of horizontal price levels here along the 200-day. If you look at the past, you can see typically when we bounce off of a support in a moving average, we'll see horizontal levels before we start to see real rallies. So you can see even here, horizontal, saw a little bit of a rally, horizontal, then the real rally came up. The last time we corrected from this 200-day, which was here, where we barely touched it, it was a pretty gradual rising in price, and then it really saw parabolic run up and found acceleration like right around this area. So right here, I think it'll be similar. If we can start to bounce here, start to see some levels of support, start to see some prices start to head this way, I think it'll start gradually going up before we start seeing some really parabolic run-ups. If it breaks this, then all hell can break loose. That's just the truth. What I mean by that is there's no true support at that point up until the 7,900 range again, which it's hit before already. You can see it hit here, 7,900, but I think the body of the candlestick going down there would be a little bit more detrimental than just the wicks on the 1 day. Somebody said, let's spam his stream with ones. Sarah, you mind banning that guy? Thank you. So he says Patreon's page not working. Jacob E. Go on patreon.com/snipers. That's patreon.com/snipers. Hey, Naim, I sent the link over on Discord, brother. Hope it helps everyone out. Thank you, brother. Is there a night owl tonight? Yes, Christian. There is a night owl tonight. Not Christian M, the other Christian. And that's going to be under the Discord here. If you go to voice 2. Wow, we got tons of people already there. Awesome. So for those of you that don't have a mic, you guys can come into the voice 2 chat and you can listen in on the night owl and just interact. And then you can also join in to the voice chat. Highly recommend it, guys. We're going to be doing a quick night owl tonight. That's going to be under voice_2. So welcome, and I can't wait to see some of you guys there. Somebody says, that little smirk that appeared on your face after reading my Kush comment confirms you're a pot smoker. I like you even more now. Amid these people, I mean, you guys are crazy at assuming stuff. You guys act like you behavior psychologists. Like, oh, his right hand went up before his left. He's lying. Oh, his left hand went up before his right. Bitcoin is dropping to all-time lows. Oh my, his eyebrows went up 6 degrees. Bitcoin is gonna hit an all-time high, guys. I'm just messing with you. Appreciate your insight. Thank you, Cyril. Appreciate you. Somebody says Sniper Soup is lit. Yes, it is. Somebody says up to you. Decide if you want to switch back. What's your favorite number? I'm not going to release that. Some of my security questions are my favorite number. And I don't want to lie. So somebody says, bro, you should definitely hook this Discord chat somehow. It would help a lot. I believe the Discord chat is going to blow up and be awesome. I think doctors and lawyers and everybody can use this just to gather information, not only as cryptocurrency people. Yeah, we got tons of people on this, bro. Somebody says, pot smokers are like gays. They think everyone else is like them. Brett said, haha. So he says, Tether crash is not yet solved. Do you think BTC breakout can happen now? Gotham, to be honest with you, so he says, what's your least favorite number? 1. I don't like 1. Love your channel. You're helpful and very professional. Thank you. Thank you, Kingston. So he says, explain why it's okay to sell at a low in order to increase your buying power on the dip. That's depending on how much momentum you're seeing on the Bollingers and the RSI, in my opinion. I swear sometimes I look at Naeem's messages when he pulls up his Discord and I'm, damn, this guy is busy. I will not be adding to that bombardment. Nope. Yeah, man. Everything I learn from you, bro. Thanks. Thank you, Christian. Somebody says, new Ruby here. Welcome to the Ruby Scott, Chad. Yes, so you'll be, Chad, now that you're a Ruby, brother, this Sunday, you don't have to be there. We'll send the recording to all the Rubies like we do, the podcast version. That'll come on your phone. You can listen to it on your way to work, at work. It's like literally iTunes. But, oh, we got tons of new patrons. Wow, yeah. So, yeah. So for everybody that's joining into Patreon, you guys are going to be getting our new trade alerts. So we're going to be adding in new trade alerts that are coming from more sources. I've just subscribed to a ton of different paid subscriptions that are worth, cost thousands of dollars just to get you guys better information. And I'm still looking for more. So if you guys know of any of these subscriptions, you can also message me them, and I wouldn't mind subscribing to them and then using that as more information to give you guys better trade alerts. And then for those of you that are Rubies, this Sunday night, or this Sunday, I want you guys to get on the Ruby chat and come with one ICO that you've studied already, and you can pick one on the Discord. If you go to ongoing ICOs, you can actually go to this website under our resources. So if you guys don't know, on our Discord, we have all these resources available, but there's a place called ongoing ICOs here, and you guys can actually research different ICOs. But what I would do is I would do funds raised, and then anything over, wow, look at that. Oh, venture capital, that's why. 41 million. So if somebody can do this, nobody's done this yet. I'm doing copy track. Somebody do Spice. But anything over $1 million so that we can get away from some of the scams. Like there's tons of smaller ICOs that you don't know if they're real or not. But anything over $1 million typically means there's enough investors that can potentially be a legitimate project. But go in there, and then we're looking for 3 specific points. Sorry if this is blinding some of you guys that have like HD displays. I try to keep everything in night mode, but that is, we like, our viewers dropped from like 550 to like nothing. Like, oh my eyes. The 3 things I want you guys to come with is, number 1, does it solve number 1, the team. That's what's most important. The quarterback. Who's quarterbacking this team? Is it Peyton Manning? Is it Tom Brady? Or is it a no-name? Number 2, does this solve a problem? Is there any sort of actual societal problem this ICO is solving, being in a decentralized distributed ledger? Number 3, what is the potential for mass adoption? So pick one ICO, come with that information, and if we don't go through it Sunday, we'll do another Ruby and above ICO Mastermind. So that will be for all Rubies and above, so we can find out the best ICOs to invest in. But yeah, shout out to Nick Piccolo, new gold. You'll get those trade alerts. Adam Gilmore, new gold. Savannah Martin, new gold. Brant Kelly, shout out to Brant, a new sapphire. Shout out to Chad Stevens, new ruby. And Matthew Carey, new emerald, brother. Good to have you on the emerald squad, man. We're going to be heading over our Night Owl soon, guys. Looks like we had a very successful live stream tonight. Tons of great questions answered. I'm not doing much technical analysis right now because of the fact that we're in a point in time where I think a lot of the technical analysis is going to be based upon Bitcoin. So really watch Bitcoin's price if you guys want to know where the market's headed, because the market's being influenced right now by Bitcoin more than anything. If you guys look at Bitcoin Satoshi valuations, you can see there's a little bit of a different market forming here. There's a lot more positive than there is in the normal charts, but the positives are so low. And what that means is when Bitcoin starts to rally, you're going to see these coins that have these lower lows, these lower highs, like the 2%, 9% positives, are going to turn into higher positives. One thing that I'll tell you is Ethereum has been very impressive during this whole downturn, and I'm very, very, very impressed by Ethereum. So let's give some props to Ethereum. Good job, man. So I just humified a coin. We got another super chat. Let's see what the super chat says. Somebody said, can you review Nano? Scott Renfro. What's up, Scott? Good to have you, man. Yeah, we'll review Nano. Let's do Nano. Not much in terms of technical analysis. Is there a better chart? Is there a better chart, Scott? I mean, if we were to do a day trading review, I would say this is not as volatile as I would want it to be on a day trading. I wouldn't trade this as a day trader. This looks like more of a value investment in my opinion. It's had too little. Oh, this is XRB. Yeah, I remember they rebranded from Rayblox. Yes, I should have known that one. Wasn't thinking. It's 2:57 a.m. So Rayblox, interesting coin. We actually had a Ripple developer in our Night Owl. If you guys know, we're having a Night Owl tonight. We have tons of like really credible people that join in on this. One time we had a Ripple developer in there, and he kind of gave us all the inside information on Ripple. And he talked about how with Ripple, you know, when Jed McCaleb was in the CEO position there, things were running really good. They had a great vision, and then that was taken over by Brad Garninghouse, which is the current CEO, and things kind of shifted. And the news that we got wasn't the best in my opinion, but it was interesting. So, but outside of that, he talked about Rayblox, and he's a developer, and he says there's a double spending vulnerability within their coding, which I don't know is valid or not. However, it was mentioned. Now, other than that, I think Rayblox is a great coin as long as they can get those vulnerabilities fixed if present. So if not, other than that, I think Rayblox has a huge potential. It's a great technology. If you've ever traded Nano or Rayblox, the transactions on it it's seamless. You know, I like that they're rebranding. That shows you that, you know, they're actually focused on the development of this, and they're looking at all aspects. They're focused on the miners. They have a great team, and in my opinion, as a long-term investment, we could certainly see this starting to head up in total market cap. And that's just my personal, you know, opinion about Rayblox so far, or Nano, being at rank number 20. Obviously, prices are low compared to where they were at previously. If you guys look at where prices were previously, you can see here, if we pull up Nano, you can see how it didn't really get hit as hard with the Bitcoin downturn, which is good. But at one point, Nano in USD valuation was worth $32, so we're half price right now. Literally, that's like the market right now. It's almost like, all right, guys, we got a half price sale today. Who's up first? Half price Rayblox. Did you guys hear about the exchange that had an exit with Rayblox? That's interesting, right? And then they rebrand. Isn't that kind of sketchy? You guys want to start some sort of controversy? I'm just kidding. No FOMO. Or no FUD here. But yeah, there was an exchange that had an exit recently, which wasn't good, but it is what it is. You got to be careful in this market. Gory Crees. Have not seen the live stream in a few weeks. Been so busy, but thanks for all you do, brother. Thank you, Gory. Good to have you back on, brother. For real, man. You know what's interesting about that, man? Now we're streaming on 4 different platforms consecutively, so we've kind of upgraded since then, brother. Somebody says, bro, besides BTC, what's your favorite 5 coins? I'd say, if you were just asked at the top of my head, this changes every day because I'm always learning about new coins, but Stellar for sure, Ethereum for sure. I love Bitcoin. Never will stop loving Bitcoin. But you said besides Bitcoin. So I'd say Ethereum, Stellar. I'd say a coin like Monero. Love Monero. Great project. Electroneum. You know, I've been fond of that since I've invested in the ICO phase. One of my first videos I've made. I mean, it's just a coin that I've liked for a long time, and I'll continue to like it, and it's making money. So love Electroneum. And I think they have a big potential for mass adoption. I think they have a great team, and I think they solve a big problem. That's accessibility. So other than Electroneum, I would say my next pick would probably be maybe a coin like, it's kind of a hard one. It's almost like EOS or Cardano, but I'd say EOS. Especially as soon as they get off the ERC20 platform and transition. I think they'll see a huge upside. Somebody says, cheers, bro, for calling out my name correctly. Would like to send you Panjshir emeralds for all your great effort. How to send? Or you like Afghan ruby? What are you talking about? You're going to send me emeralds? No giveaway tonight? You want to do a giveaway tonight? We can do a giveaway tonight. Oh, I gave my book away. I can't even do the book giveaway anymore. I gave my book to my friend today that came over. He's an awesome guy. Said, love you so much, brother. Wallah. Inshallah, brother. Somebody said, Cardano is a low-key nuclear explosion. Ignore at your peril. I don't know about that. Somebody says sniper coin. Somebody says I'm a gold member too. Good to have you, man. Somebody says I've been spreading the word about snipers. Thank you, Gory. That's good. On what platform do you stream? Restream. Michael Massey. DJ Buenello. Discord link expired. No, it hasn't. Has it? The Discord link hasn't expired. I don't think so. Maybe on the... Oh, is it wrong on the stream end? No, it should be good. That's weird. Discord link it should be fine. Try it again. See what happens. Somebody said, what's the deal with Monero? Monero is a very, very interesting coin. You guys know anytime you send a Bitcoin to anybody or anytime you make a Bitcoin transaction with somebody, that person can see your whole Bitcoin wallet and how much you have. It's called the rich list. Although some people aren't rich, they just have their wallet on the rich list. What do you think about chat? It might shoot to the moon. Somebody says thoughts on Spank. I haven't done a review on all those. What's the chat platform? I'm looking at every chat platform, brother. Monero dark web non-traceable. It's not just for dark web though. It's privacy, guys. If any of you guys watch the movie Circle, if you think privacy coins are bad, watch the movie Circle and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Who here has watched the movie Circle? I'm sure out of 500 people, we have somebody here that's watched Circle. Why people talk about Bitcoin look like teenager, look like they just got out of school. I will feel more confident in hearing advice from people at least 25 and 30 years old. Well, then you're obviously stupid. Sorry to say that, Benji Becker. And if you retaliate, we'll ban you. But hopefully you take this as constructive criticism. But you're stupid. You're stupid. I was hanging out with a 19-year-old I was hanging out with a 19-year-old 7-figure earner tonight. We hung out all day. He's 19 years old. He's driving an R8. What are you driving? So don't tell me age matters or you're stupid. Straight up. I mean, I'm going to tell you how it is. I speak the truth here. So you're stupid, dude. Unless you change your mindset, you'll stay stupid and you'll stay broke. And that's coming from somebody that has started with nothing, and my family has had nothing in my life. So that's just the truth. Somebody said, Michael Massey. Somebody says, you're the man, Cena. John Cena. He was my favorite wrestler when I was watching WWE back in the day. Somebody says, you dummy. Michael Massey says, I did not just curse. Come on, Michael. I've never cursed on a live stream. Dang. He got me, man. That was good. Michael Massey. I'm not falling for that one again. Somebody says, appreciate your insight. You're very welcome, Starwolf. Somebody says, Banhammer. You cursed and then you lied. What do you mean, Rishi? Lied about what, bro? Lied about what? I don't lie. I love getting into discussions with people because I have nothing to hide. Somebody says cursing and weed. He is slipping. That's you guys are ridiculous. You guys, it's your fault. I'm gonna stop hanging out with you guys. I gotta stop hanging out with you guys. I gotta get out of here. I'm gonna head over to the Night Owl so we can kind of cut this short. I mean, you guys are obviously influencing me wrong. So he says, sorry, Naeem, you got caught. I don't curse. I was reading a comment. Ridiculous. Somebody says Discord expired. No, it hasn't. There you go. How do I join the Night Owl, the Hardlinator? We're going to be heading over to our Night Owl. It's on our Discord, brother. So our Discord is going to be right here under Voice 2. So join our Voice 2 chat. And we'll be in our Discord tonight. Somebody just said, Seriously, you are a legend. Let me send you Mikani Mine Emerald. Google it so you know what I'm talking about. So do I have to pay? No, not for our night owl tonight. Love, man. That's fine, Mike. I was messing around. BTC update, Naeem? Yeah. Update is, if you look at BTC, we're finding some support. If we break that support, that's bad. If we don't break it, that's not bad. That's just the truth. There's not much more to that. Hopefully we can start heading back up horizontally. Doesn't have to be crazy run up. But if it breaks this 200 day, things can go down, probably down to 7,900 like it did with the wicks. Find support there, and it will probably find support there, and we can do another update from there. But we have to watch this step by step. So I said, we still love you, brother. Response would be great on Discord. I will share some of my portfolio. Yeah, for sure, man. Now, you should do like Oprah and give away books to everybody. That's funny, Amid. There's his Discord expired. Stop saying that. Dante Martin said, how is he scamming? I'm like, man, I've been through so much now. Like, I've been around a lot of 7-figure, 8-figure, 9-figure, 10-figure earners, whether it's in crypto or other businesses. Man, it's crazy. Like, the stupidest people in the world will call them scammers if they're offering any sort of help. It's like people, when they see somebody helping, they run away. And to be honest with you, those people have missing gray matter inside of their brains. And they're either psychopaths or narcissists, or there's lesser cases of Machiavellians, which are two-faces. But for the most part, they're narcissists. Psychopaths are a little bit rare, a lot rarer actually. But they're missing gray matter, and like they can't like think positive almost. Like, you guys have any friends that are just always negative? You're like, man, this is a beautiful weather. Yeah, but that car stinks. Man, this is a great hamburger. Yeah, but the ketchup sucks. Man, this is a great book. Yeah, but the title sucks. You guys ever had a friend like that? Some of those people are missing gray matter inside of their head, and you literally can't, if you hang out with them, you literally become like them. Like, you have to hang outside of them. And when they're missing the gray matter inside their brain, they can't regain it. Like, they're screwed up forever. And you have to cut them out of your life. I don't want to get too deep here. This isn't personal development, but that's the truth. Somebody says, Peepo, you just take advantage of people that don't know what they're doing with crypto. Oh, that's why if you go to our success stories here, you got somebody saying here, look, let's just pick another one here. So he's saying that we take advantage of people on this Discord because people don't know what they're talking about. Well, then look at this. Read this right here. Lots of people talking crap, but I'm here to say I'm a complete beginner to all of this and just started following this, and I've made lots of money with simple insight. For example, I bought Stellar before knowing how to recharge, and really just over my head. Naeem analyzed the double bottom on BTC at one point. I moved my uneducated buys that I lost money on into that and made my money back plus profit in the next morning. If I can pick those things up from just those explanations in live videos, not knowing anything about this, then so can a lot of others. Thankful for this channel. Hey, Sarah, go ahead and ban that guy that said that, because he's spreading false information. Because Pipo Gomez said you're taking advantage of people who don't know, but then this guy said in a testimonial that he wasn't. So could you please ban him? We don't want liars on this chat. You guys like how we handle these haters? I love it. You gotta just like smack them in the face. It's like kind of like they're kind of like jabbing like da da da, and some just go bah, and they're like, oh shoot. It's like, well, dude, you're the one that you were jabbing me first. Sorry, my jab is a little bit stronger. Somebody says promoted BCC. Phone droid. Yeah, so I made a ton of money through BCC because I was actually at the Bitconnect conference with the guy that screamed Bitconnect. I was at that conference, but you know, I obviously don't promote it. Like, I'm not promoting it in my videos. I had videos about it in the past, but they had like, you know, 50 views, 60 views. But I never became like a promoter through my YouTube channel because I learned really early on. When I first started, I thought it was like the greatest thing in the world. Then I started thinking about it. I'm like, this does not make sense. This doesn't line up. And it was after the conference. So after the conference, I completely stopped making videos about it. But yeah, I was in Bitconnect. I actually made pretty good money on Bitconnect. I actually got a message today. I have nobody's messaged me saying like, oh my gosh, like, you know, I lost money because of you, because I never really referred people. And anytime I referred people, it was before like October. So everybody that was referred made tons of money too. So nobody lost money because of me. And then I never promoted it afterwards. So, because I'm not stupid and I realized this was not adding up, but why not make money on a flawed system? So I did. It's funny, I got a message today from somebody. They said, it's actually an old time subscriber, and he says, let's see, Naeem, you're a superstar on YouTube now. Congrats on all your success, bro. I only lost 400 total on Bitconnect, so no sweat. So I guess he lost money. Hope you were able to recoup some of the active loans, but I was actually able to make back money through my referrals, so everything went right, and then all my referrals were satisfied, so then he made back, so he didn't lose any money. Happy for you. Keep up the good work. I do have one question, though. Do you think XRP is a good buy? So, like, we're kind of, like, laughing it off. We're like, yeah, that was a fun time in our life, right? So, you know, if you get mad because somebody's making money and using, you know, like, that's my personal business, what I want. The fact of the matter is I didn't promote it when our channel grew, you know, and that's what matters. So you should donate your promise for Bitconnect back to someone that lost a lot of money, is now suffering. I actually gave some money to the homeless person today. I was driving, like I said, I was with a 19-year-old driving an R8, awesome guy named Vince. Shout out to Vince. And this lady walked up. You can ask him, and we'll have him on a live stream one day. And she came up to the R8 and she was like, she put the sign up to the window. I rolled down the window. I took whatever cash I had. I had like 120. I gave her 20. But I give all the, I mean, I don't talk about what I give because I don't think that's right. If you give, you just give without expecting. That's my mentor time. He's like, anytime you give money, don't ever talk about it, because if you talk about it, you've ruined the psychological pleasure of giving. You have to give without expecting anything back. And then when you talk about it, you're pretty much trying to get praise for it, and you don't want to do that. That's just a quick lesson. Pixel fall. Said, let's see. BCC looking ripe. No. This is not, this is actually, this isn't beer. No, this is LaCroix. This is actually water, sparkling water. So it says, do you think the market will come down more? Sell now, buy in a further dip. Interesting. Somebody says, new referrals coming. That's funny. Do a chat with Crypto Nick. No. What do you think sets these high earners and regular folks apart, Cyril? I think it's more about the individuals who are actually getting into these ICOs at the right time. I think that's one of the most important parts. So, do you ever sleep? Not much. Somebody said, do you now think about investing? What do you mean? Somebody said, just subscribe to Patreon Gold today. How to check the trade alerts. If I were you, Majid, I would download the Patreon app and set up your instant trade alerts. So if you want to get on the Patreon, it's patreon.com/snipers. And we're going to be heading over to our Night Owl tonight, guys. So the Night Owl is going to be on our Discord. I'm going to link the Discord here in the chat. So for those of you that get on Discord, go ahead and use that link. We're going to be heading over here taking your questions. So I'd love to see some of you guys there tonight. We already got a ton of people here. You got over 100 people here. So it's going to be under voice_2. So you can see we have a little group here and this larger group. This group will eventually transfer here for the most part. So we're all going to be heading here. Don't be stubborn. Just get on there. This is where you'll get really good information more than anything, because this is actually information that is valuable in terms of, it's a collaborative discussion, right? A discussion is always more important than a monologue. How is it to see the Bitconnect guy live? It freaking hurt your ear. I mean, the guy is super loud. So anybody that invested over 20,000 in Bitconnect was able to come to that conference. And that's, so they invited everybody. It was like a Thailand conference. They gave away like a Lamborghini Huracan, but that guy was super annoying on stage. It was ridiculous. Somebody says, hey, I'm just subscribed to Patreon Gold today. How to check the trade alerts? Yes, Majid. I kind of answered that. What about the night owl today? Yes, Ignacio. It will be in voice_2. Money doesn't sleep. Nope. All right, guys. We're gonna start heading over. It says, "Could you be my mentor?" Hi, name. Seeing that the Twitch channel is going to be growing fast, I just wanted to go and say I'm going to be here a lot just to show my face and name, and maybe one day be a moderator to help you out. Just a way to say thanks. That is awesome, man. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, that means a lot, man. I'll actually make you a moderator right now on Twitch. I'm not dumb. I appreciate that stuff a lot, you know, and I think that you being bold like that and saying something like that means a lot to me, man. So let's go ahead and give you that moderator status here, dude. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Could you say something in the chat so I can see your name again? But I appreciate that. Somebody said, hey, dude, what do you think about the Reddit post that exposed you of a scammer who takes advantage of newer crypto people? I don't know what Reddit post you're talking about, Bruno. But I don't really care because there's tons of posts about me. There's tons of posts about anybody doing something significant. So even there's like scammer posts about Elon Musk. Somebody said, there you go. I'm gonna give you a moderator position, brother. Thank you so much for the offer, dude. Somebody says, testing stream. Interesting. How do you give moderator? I've never done this on actually I do know how to do this. Let me, okay, add moderator. All right, awesome. So what we're gonna do now, guys, we're gonna head over to our night owl, and our night owl is pretty much going to be run on Discord. When will you be back on YouTube? I posted a YouTube video today and every day, and I've never left YouTube. So everybody, we're going to be under voice 2 under our Discord. I'd like to see some of you guys there tonight. I think this was a productive night. We answered a ton of questions. We got rid of a ton of haters. That's always a good thing because then it pures this community, it purifies it, and I think we're just in a passing through point. Once we get through this horizontal correction, I think we'll start to see a little bit of horizontal price movement. Like I said, if it drops below this, we can enter a bear market towards that 7,900, possibly even down to the 67,800 range. Hopefully not around that range because we want to stay on top of that 7,900 range. That's really what you want to watch right now, 79, 7,800. But in my opinion, the 200-day is a strong area of support. So hopefully we'll start to see some sort of reversal. I'm putting in buy positions at this point, strengthening my Bitcoin position just because of the fact that I feel like it's one of the most undervalued coins right now. It's at a high discount. So the Game Chaser says, make me a mod, I'll clean up this chat. That's funny. All right, Game Chasers, we'll do that. How about that? You've been around for a while, man. So I appreciate your support, man. I'll make you a mod, man. Since you've been around, you've been engaging, man. I trust you at this point. So thank you, brother. Appreciate that. Let's see what you got, man. We'll do a temp mod status for 2 weeks. So we'll do a temp mod status for you and the guy on Twitch, so that we can make sure that things working out well. You guys, you know, do it right. And then we'll just kind of go from there. So let me go ahead and assign that here for you, brother. I definitely appreciate that offer. Let's see. Baby, I know a lot of people that if you pitch an idea to them, they will always start with no and why it won't work. And if there are examples that work, yeah, that's true. That happens a lot, actually. People, when they pitch, it's fun. It's funny. Won't let you down. All right, brother. Thank you, man. Sounds good, guys. Somebody says positive vibes, bro. What is the Patreon chat? Redemption. So the Patreon is going to be posted here. It's in the description. Our Discord as well. We're going to be heading over to our Night Owl. So Patreon is for trade alerts. Discord is for Night Owl. And hopefully we can see you guys tonight. And we'll have a quick Night Owl tonight, answering your questions. It's going to be fun like always. And then we'll kind of just go from there. So thank you guys for tuning in tonight. Let's go ahead and say bye to the chat logs. Zosh, Mr. Hitman, Frank McLovin, Penang, Mr. Hitman, Sean S, Crypto Bromp, Amid, Kamal, Fanang, DVR, Corrosive. Take care, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in today. Frank McLovin. And then the Game Chasers will test your skills out tomorrow night in our live stream, brother. We're going to be doing this every single night, like you guys know. We never stop. We keep the information coming. The largest community here on Discord, one of the largest on growing, one of the fastest on YouTube. I think we're right about almost 40,000 subscribers, guys. Thank you so much for that. We got about, I'd say, almost 30 or 24,000 members, over 24,000 now on Discord. So we're growing fast. We're growing faster than ever, and I'm excited to continue this journey with you guys. The more we grow, the more this community is going to become valuable because more content will come into it, more knowledge will be present, and a more collaborative environment will be created. And with that being said, guys, thank you for tuning in. We're going to be heading over to that Night Owl tonight. It's going to be starting in about 10 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and get a cup of water. And with that being said, Snipers out. Thank you, guys.